Right.
You're the Grey Warden, aren't you? Exactly who I was hoping to meet. I represent a collective of mages interested in going about their lives without the constant scrutiny of the Chantry. The collective is a self-policing guild of mages who simply want to be left alone. We mean no offense to the Chantry, but we would rather live on our own terms. Next to me, and in every major settlement, you will find an inconspicuous sack containing requests from mages all over the land who need the assistance of someone skillful and discreet. Thank you, my friend. We have agents in every major settlement to reward you for work done on behalf of the collective. Make us smile upon you.
My Valena returned. She told me of your daring rescue. I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am. Take this. A reward for your deed. It's dwarven made and should serve you well. Thank you again. I'm forever in your debt.
What say you? By all means. And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree? Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent? But if you're talking generalities, such as children and relatives and bystanders and such, never on purpose. But it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease, or a fall down the stairs, or at the hands of a darkspawn. It's all relative in the end. Death happens, as we like to say, and when I get paid for it, death happens more often. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands. It is not pleasure, per se, nothing sexual. It is more a sense of satisfaction, a feeling of power. Does that make sense? No matter. There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules. Oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else? None that I wouldn't get into trouble for performing publicly. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them. Here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it? To be truthful, I didn't even know the crows existed when I joined them. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die. Oh, I don't know about that. The crows who are actually good enough to survive come to enjoy some of the benefits. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining. I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful, and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you? This is good to know. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go. Eventually can be a very, very long time if one plays one's cards right. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so. I've a question, if I may. Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity. Not precisely. I said I would serve you until you saw fit to release me. One simply assumes that once your Grey Warden business is finished, you would have no need of an assassin to follow you about. Am I wrong? Oh, not more than friends? Spoil sport. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
Now that we're back at the camp, I want to talk about what happened at Redcliffe. I just wanted to thank you. You went out of your way to save the Isle's family, and you did it. Even though it would have been easier not to. There's been so much death and destruction. It makes me feel good that at least we were able to save something. No matter how small. I owed the Isle that much. You're right. Hopefully, by that time, there's still enough of Ferelden left to save. Good. Now that the warm, fuzzy part of the day is over with, we can get back to the ritual dismemberments. Oh, wait, it's not Tuesday, is it? This is my mother's amulet. It has to be. But why isn't it broken? Where did you find it? Oh, the Arl study? Then he must have found the amulet after I threw it at the wall. and he repaired it and kept it. I don't understand. Why would he do that? I guess you could be right. We never really talked that much. And then the way I left... Thank you. I mean it. I thought I'd lost this to my own stupidity. I'll need to talk to him about this if he recovers from his... When he recovers, that is. I wish I'd had this a long time ago. Did you remember me mentioning it? Wow. Huh. I'm more used to people not really listening when I go on about things. Is this the part when the music starts and we begin dancing? Because I'm game. Where's the minstrels? So, what would you do if someone told you that they loved you?
Check their eyesight first, perhaps. Is this someone I should know about?
No, I mean, pretend you're a woman.
I am a woman, Alistair. That shouldn't be too hard, but I'll give it a try.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Just pretend you're another woman. Someone told you that they loved you. How would you react?
Well, that depends. Does this someone just blurt it out? Do I love them back? I need context.
I don't know if you love him back. Maybe you do. You've spent a lot of time with this person.
Perhaps you need to wait for the right moment. You could get her alone in camp. Give her a gift, perhaps.
Oh, I wasn't talking about me. Just, forget I said anything.
As you wish.
Here, look at this. Do you know what this is? Yes, that's right. Watch as I thrash our enemies with the mighty power of floral arrangements. Feel my thorns, darkspawn. I will overpower you with my rosy scent. Or, you know, it could just be a rose. I know that's pretty dull in comparison. Is it that easy to see right through me? Huh. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I picked it in Lothering. I remember thinking, how could something so beautiful exist in a place with so much despair and ugliness? I probably should have left it alone, but I couldn't. The Darkspawn would come and their taint would just destroy it. So I've had it ever since. I thought that I might give it to you, actually. In a lot of ways, I think the same thing when I look at you. Oh, wow. She'll never see through that, I told myself. Boy, was I wrong. I guess it's a bit silly, isn't it? I just thought, here I am, doing all this complaining, and you haven't exactly been having a good time of it yourself. You've had none of the good experience of being a Grey Warden since your joining. Not a word of thanks or congratulations. It's all been death and fighting and tragedy. I thought maybe I could say something. Tell you what a rare and wonderful thing you are to find amidst all this darkness. I'm glad you like it. Now, if we could move right on past this awkward, embarrassing stage and get right to the steamy bits, I'd appreciate it. Ha ha. Bluff called. Damn, she saw right through me. I'll be standing over here until the blushing stops, just to be safe. You know how it is.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over.
Take the make of my brother in this home.
Yes? What are you doing here? Brother Genetivi? Why? He was on the trail of the Urn of Sacred Ashes, yes. Whether he found it, the Maker only knows. I haven't seen Brother Genetivi in weeks. He sent no word. It's so unlike him. I'm afraid something has happened. Genetivi's research into the urn may have led him into danger. Perhaps the urn has been lost for a reason. I pray for Genetivi's safety, but hope dwindles with each passing day. I tried to send help, but some knights came from Redcliffe looking for him not long ago. I sent them after Genetivi, and they too have disappeared. Now, don't ask me where they went. You'll go after them. And what if ill luck should befall you too? This search is a curse on all of us. Some things are not meant to be found. I know that now. So be it. All he said before he left was that he would be staying at an inn near Lake Calenhard, investigating something in that area. I don't know. All I discovered from going through his research was that he was staying at the inn. Yes, of course he told me, but I also went through his things to see if I could find other clues to his whereabouts. That's not true. I told you everything I know. Brother Genetivi told me about the inn, and that's all. Us? I mean me. There is no us. Bah! Why do I keep up this charade? I gave you a chance to turn aside and forget you ever heard of Genetivi and the urn, but you persisted. Now it has come to this. Andraste, forgive me, I do this in your name.
This should be easy enough.
Looks like the fighting's finally started. Gonna have to hope they work it out, I guess.
All men are the work of our Maker's hand, from the lowest slave to the highest.
I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier. You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. Remember my apprentice, Petra? She encountered a demon in the tower. It would have killed her had I not intervened. I saved her life that day, but I did not survive that encounter with the demon. Let me explain fully. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor. The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time. Yes, that we will.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
This should be easy enough.
Come and get it. Is that all you've got?
That was interesting. And draining. I didn't know I could either. I called forth the spirit that sustains me, so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little. Anyway, I feel quite all right now, and it seems that my little trick could be useful in a pinch. It's not a demon that requires controlling. Really, you need not fear it. I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
What are you doing in Haven? There's nothing for you here. What do you want? The urn is nothing but a legend. I do not know who Brother Genetivi is or what he says. However, I'm sure people can convince themselves of anything. No. We do not appreciate lowlanders looking about our home as though it was some sort of zoo. Ask and be on your way. Haven's always been here. My family knows no other home. Father Eirik is our spiritual leader and guide.
Revered father? I've never heard of this.
It's always been thus in Haven.
We do not question tradition. Our ways are not the ways of the lowland cities. Ask and be on your way. We keep to ourselves. We see no need to announce our presence to the world. It's more peaceful that way. Then perhaps you should return to the lowlands. Who? Perhaps revered Father Eirik will know of whom you speak. Unfortunately, he's ministering to the villagers at the moment and cannot be disturbed. I suggest you seek your brother elsewhere. It's always been thus in Haven. We do not question tradition. You may trade for supplies at the shop if you wish. Then I suggest you and your companions leave.
I suggest we tread carefully here. Something is amiss.
Ah, quiet, insular communities. There's always something nasty going on behind closed doors.
You always think there's something nasty going on behind closed doors.
That's because there often is. I hope it involves chains. I hope they ask me to join in.
Come, Bonnie Lynn. Tell us where you've been. Were you up, were you down? Chasing rabbits round the town. Come, Bonnie Lynn. Tell us where you've been. Come, Bonnie Lynn. We've a bed to put you in. It is soft, it is warm. It will shelter from the storm. Come, Bonnie Lynn. We've a bed to put you in. Dear Bonnie Lynn. Sleeps the peaceful crib within. A mossy stone, a finger bone. No one knows but Lynn alone. Dear Bonnie Lynn. Sleeps the peaceful crib within. Who are you? You shouldn't be here. I asked you first. Lowlanders don't belong here. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Haven is Haven. But I have a secret. Do you want to see? Over by the mountain. It's lucky. I keep it with me. Don't tell anyone, all right?
Right. Wynne, is this yours?
Oh, my bag of components. Thank you, dear. I was wondering where it got to.
You left it by the fire. At camp.
Oh, yes, I remember now. How age creeps up on you and brings with it forgetfulness.
You're a great mage, Wynne, and you're sharper and wiser than many people I know. Some young ones, too.
Oh, but you should have seen me 15, 20 years ago. The fires have dimmed somewhat since then. But thank you, Liliana, for picking up after this old lady.
I don't like this. It's almost too quiet. Something's not right. I can feel it.
Strangers are nothing but trouble.
On it. This should be easy enough.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Who are you? You're not from Haven. We don't get very many visitors. How would you describe the place you know only as home? No, I've never heard that name. I think that is for the best. What are you
you doing? That's private. No! No! You have no right!
Oh! Only one shot in!
Allow me. I could do that for you. Allow me. I could do that for you.
You had it coming!
My face! Let's make this quick!
Time for some fun!
I see violence is the solution. Sometimes I naturally make it.
Let's get started.
Ooh, now the fun part.
Enemies approaching. Let's make this quick, shall we?
Ah, this really gets the blood pumping.
This should be easy. Let us end this.
Let's get started.
Now we go into battle.
Allow me. I could do that for you. Allow me. I could do that for you.
On it.
Allow me. I could do that for you. I was not expecting to find something so unsettling.
I wonder. The crows often made sacrifices of blood, and it gave them uncanny abilities.
This village is not quite what it seems, is it?
Right. No mercy!
You forced our hand!
This should be easy.
You should run while you can!
Is everyone in the chantry? These villagers are a remarkably pious bunch.
We are blessed beyond measure. We are chosen by the holy and beloved to be her guardians. This sacred duty is given to us alone. Rejoice, my brethren, and prepare your hearts to receive her. Lift up your voices and despair not, for she will raise her faithful servants to glory when her...
Ah, welcome. I heard we had a visitor wandering about the village. I trust you've enjoyed your time in Haven so far?
This, my brothers, is what happens when you let an outsider into the village. They have no respect for our privacy. She will tell others of us if we let her. Word will spread, and then what? You, stranger, do not understand our ways. You would bring war to Haven in your ignorance.
We don't owe you any explanations for our actions. We have a sacred duty. Failure to protect her would be a greater sin. All will be forgiven.
This should be
Time to dance.
Let's get started.
You should run while you can.
As you wish. I've defeated one.
On it.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Who are you? They've sent you to finish it. You're not one of them, thank the Maker. What do you think? Weeks of scant food and water, the torture. Oh, I've never felt better. The leg's not doing so well, and I can't feel my foot.
I can set the leg and ease some of the pain, but he'll need a lot of rest in order to heal.
I don't have time to rest now. I'm so close. The urn is just up that mountain. The Arl is sick. Will he live? Politics never did anyone any good. The Arl is a noble soul, but the ashes will surely cure him. Haven lies in the shadow of the mountain that holds the urn. There is an old temple there built to protect it. The door is always locked, but I know what the key is. Iric wears a medallion that opens the temple door. I've seen what he does with it. Yes, that is your key. Take me to the mountainside and I will show you. All right. What is on your mind? Yes, of course. How could I forget? Iric said they were ambushed, some killed, a few brought back to Haven to be questioned. He was so self-righteous about it, so smug. He seemed pleased that he had tortured and murdered these men. I see. She must have been desperate. She couldn't have known she was sending them to their deaths. Let's just talk about something else now, shall we? Well, it wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. I do not know. When the Chantry was established, it was decided that only female priests would ever be ordained. It is possible that the villagers, the disciples of Andraste, predate the Chantry and so have no knowledge of the Chantry's rules. They call themselves the disciples of Andraste, and they are very, very devoted. One could say fanatically so. They must be here to protect the urn, but they speak of Andraste as though she were still alive. I'm old enough to know that anything is possible, child. Was there something else you wanted to discuss? They seemed intent on finding out personal information about me, where I grew up, things like that. How do you know? An imposter? What happened to the real Waylon? Oh, poor Waylon. I should never have dragged you into this. Make us take you into his hands, my boy. He believed in me, even when I lost faith in myself. I will honor his memory. Was there something else you wanted to say? All right. What is on your mind? I certainly hope the ashes will save him. The legends speak of their miraculous powers. There are many stories of pilgrims being healed, the blind seeing, and the lame dancing in joy. Perhaps it is Andraste that does this. Perhaps it is belief itself. By believing the ashes are magical, you make them so. Anyway, that can be discussed once we actually have the ashes, and the Arl is better. All right. Are you ready to go then? All right. What is on your mind? All right. Are you ready to go then? This has been my life's work. To have come this far, only to have to turn back. I couldn't bear it.
You cannot deny him this. We would never have found this place without him. I suppose you're right. I would never forgive myself if something more happened to him. I think it's best that you return to Denerim, brother. I'm sorry.
Very well. Since you will not let me help, I will return to my home in Denerim. But first, the medallion. It is not a solid piece of bronze. It can be manipulated like so. And there, a key to open the way. There are very few keys like this left in the world, but I have seen some. When you find the right combination, it just feels right. It is hard to explain. There should be a place to insert the medallion. An indentation of some sort, perhaps? If you find the urn, you will return to Denerim to tell me about it, won't you? I would dearly love to hear about it. Make a smile fortune on you, young one.